On May 2nd, more than 1,000 African American students skipped their classes and gathered at 16th Street Baptist Church to march to downtown Birmingham. In 1963, Birmingham was known as one of the most racist cities in the South. Martin Luther King Jr. had described it as a symbol of hardcore resistance to integration. Activists had nicknamed it Bombingham because of the frequency of violent attacks against those fighting for the system of segregation. The 1963 campaign to desegregate Birmingham, Alabama generated national publicity and federal action because of the violent response by local authorities and the decision by Martin Luther King Jr. and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to recruit children for demonstrations. The Children's March added a new dynamic to the struggle in Birmingham and was a major factor in the success of the campaign. The segregation in the South had to come to an end, and the leaders of the SCLC thought that the Birmingham Children's March was the perfect way to end segregation and boost the civil rights movement. Although some white people appreciated the African Americans, others did not. They treated them poorly and would not let them go to the same schools, public pools, and many other public buildings that were meant for everyone. This sign portrays what the white people thought about the racial minorities. They believed that the Mexicans and the African Americans should be classified in the same way as dogs were classified. In this picture, it shows that there was men and women of all ages that were involved in the protest. In May 1963, they launched the Children's Crusade and began a march on Birmingham. By the next day, there was more than 3,000 black young people marching through the city. When hundreds more young people gathered the following day for another march, Commissioner Bull Connor directed the local police and fire departments to use force to halt the demonstration. Images of children being blasted by high-pressure fire hoses, clubbed by police officers, and attacked by police dogs were all part of the police tactics. They had a right to use nonviolent protests in order to get their equality and social freedom, and even though they did nothing wrong, they were still harassed by the police. One of their goals was to talk to the mayor of Birmingham about the segregation in the city. They were not met with a peaceful response. As they approached police lines, hundreds were arrested and carried off to jail in paddy wagons and school buses. Hundreds of young kids were arrested, and the youngest was 4 years old. After intervention from the U.S. Department of Justice, the Birmingham campaign ended on May 10th, when the SCLC and local officials reached an agreement in which the city promised to desegregate downtown stores and release all protesters from jail if the SCLC would end the boycotts and demonstrations.